Elden Ring, the journey to Game of the Year. From Software's Elden Ring is one of the most acclaimed video games of all time, earning Game of the Year at the Game Awards 2022 and captivating millions of players worldwide. This open-world action RPG not only represents a culmination of From Software's expertise in game design but also stands as a testament to innovative storytelling and immersive gameplay. With its rich lore, punishing yet rewarding mechanics, and the involvement of renowned fantasy author George R.R. Martin, Elden Ring has redefined what open-world gaming can be. Origins of Elden Ring, a partnership of legends. Before Elden Ring, From Software had already established itself as a titan in the gaming industry with its Soulsborne series, beginning with Demon's Souls, 2009, and including hits like Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. These games were known for their challenging gameplay, intricate world building, and cryptic narratives. However, studio president and creative visionary Hidetaka Miyazaki felt there was more to explore. After the success of Sekiro, Miyazaki sought to create an open-world experience that retained the studio's trademark difficulty and storytelling depth while offering players unprecedented freedom. Collaborating with George R.R. Martin. One of the most intriguing aspects of Elden Ring's development was the collaboration between Miyazaki and George R.R. Martin, the famed author of A Song of Ice and Fire. Martin was brought on to craft the game's overarching lore and mythology, a departure from Software's traditional development process. Miyazaki approached Martin with broad themes and creative direction, leaving him free to create a deep and interconnected backstory for the game's world, the lands between. Martin's contributions included the creation of the world's pantheon of gods, historical events, and familial conflicts. Miyazaki then used this framework to build a game that felt steeped in history and tragedy, a hallmark of From Software's titles. Development challenges and innovations. Transitioning to open-world design. The shift from the semi-linear structure of Dark Souls to a fully open-world game was one of the most significant challenges for From Software. Unlike traditional open-world games that rely on quest markers and constant guidance, Elden Ring was designed to encourage player-driven exploration. 1. Non-linear gameplay. The lands between is vast and interconnected, with players free to explore its regions in almost any order. 1. From Software ensured each area had distinct challenges, secrets, and rewards. 2. Environmental storytelling. Instead of heavy exposition, the world tells its own story through ruined castles, ancient monuments, and cryptic NPC dialogue. 3. Freedom of approach. Players can choose how to engage with the game, whether by seeking out powerful bosses, exploring hidden dungeons, or experimenting with builds and strategies. Combat refinement and accessibility. Combat has always been a core pillar of From Software games, and Elden Ring refined it further while introducing mechanics that catered to a broader audience. 1. Mounted combat. The inclusion of Torrent, a spectral steed, allowed players to fight and traverse in ways never before seen in a From Software game. 2. Spirit Ash summons. Players could summon AI companions for assistance, providing an optional layer of accessibility for challenging encounters. 3. Expanded build diversity. The game introduced new mechanics, such as weapon skills and Ashes of War, enabling players to customize their playstyles more deeply than ever before. The visual and auditory design of Elden Ring was another standout feature. 1. Aesthetic vision. From sprawling golden landscapes to eerie, mist-shrouded marshes, the lands between was meticulously crafted to evoke both wonder and dread. 2. Music and sound design. The game's orchestral score underscored its epic scope, while ambient sounds heightened the atmosphere of each region. 3. Performance optimization. While ambitious, the game faced criticism for some performance issues at launch, particularly on PC. 3. However, subsequent patches addressed many of these concerns. Story and lore. A cryptic masterpiece. At the heart of Elden Ring is the Lands Between, a mystical world shattered by the destruction of the Elden Ring and the corruption of its fragments, known as Great Runes. Players take on the role of the tarnished, exiled individuals called back to this land to restore order, or to impose their own vision upon it. The story is layered with themes of ambition, betrayal, and the cyclical nature of power. Much like Dark Souls, Elden Ring encourages players to piece together its narrative through cryptic NPC dialogue, item descriptions, and environmental clues. The lore revolves around the demigod offspring of Queen Marika the Eternal, each of whom has claimed a fragment of the Elden Ring. These characters, such as Godric the Grafted and Ranni the Witch, are both tragic and monstrous, embodying the consequences of ambition and corruption. Their unique designs and backstories reflect From Software's talent for creating unforgettable characters. Marketing and anticipation. Elden Ring was first announced at E3 2019, with a cryptic trailer that immediately sparked excitement and speculation. The collaboration between Miyazaki and Martin alone was enough to generate immense interest, and the promise of an open-world From Software game only added to the anticipation. However, news about the game remained scarce for years, leading to a fervent fan culture centered around speculation and theories. When the first gameplay trailer was finally revealed in 2021, it became one of the most watched gaming videos on YouTube. Launch and accessibility. From Software strategically positioned Elden Ring as both a spiritual successor to its previous titles and an accessible entry point for newcomers. The game was marketed not just to hardcore fans but also to players who might have been intimidated by the difficulty of games like Dark Souls. Features like the open-world design, optional bosses, and spirit ash summons were highlighted as ways to tailor the experience to individual playstyles. Reception, critical acclaim and commercial success. Upon its release on February 25, 2022, Elden Ring was universally acclaimed by critics, achieving a Metacritic score of 96. Reviewers praised its open-world design, depth of gameplay, and the sense of discovery it evoked. Key points of praise. 1. Exploration. Critics highlighted the organic exploration, comparing it favorably to games like The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. 2. Combat and customization. The depth of combat mechanics and the variety of viable playstyles were lauded as some of the best in the genre. 3. Narrative ambiguity. While the story required effort to fully understand, its richness and Martin's contributions were widely appreciated. Elden Ring shattered sales records, selling over 12 million copies within 2 weeks of launch and surpassing 20 million copies by early 2023. It became From Software's best-selling game and one of the most successful new IPs in gaming history. Game of the Year and Industry Impact. At the Game Awards 2022, Elden Ring won Game of the Year, beating out fierce competition like God of War, Ragnarok. It also won awards for Best Game Direction, Best Art Direction, and more. Its success has had a profound impact on the industry, influencing the design philosophy of other developers and proving that challenging, narrative-driven games can achieve mainstream appeal. Why Elden Ring became Game of the Year. Unlike many open-world games that rely on repetitive objectives and guided exploration, Elden Ring trusted players to forge their own paths. Its lack of hand-holding and reliance on curiosity created an experience that felt truly personal and rewarding. Few games offer the depth and replayability of Elden Ring. From experimenting with builds to uncovering hidden quests and alternate endings, players can invest hundreds of hours without exhausting its content. The seamless integration of gameplay, story, and world design reflects From Software's meticulous attention to detail. The collaboration between Miyazaki and Martin brought a unique blend of cryptic storytelling and rich lore that resonated with players. Elden Ring became more than a game, it became a cultural phenomenon. Memes, fan art, and discussion of its world and mechanics dominated social media, creating a vibrant and engaged community. The legacy of Elden Ring. Elden Ring is not just a game, it's a landmark achievement in the gaming industry. Its innovative design, immersive world, and the freedom it offers players have set a new standard for what open-world games can achieve. As From Software looks to the future, Elden Ring will undoubtedly serve as a benchmark for excellence, inspiring developers and captivating players for years to come. Thanks for watching. Subscribe.